combined as a hard once per turn, but I think they're separated, so maybe he just goes into scale. Yeah, goes into scale, sends the gate 0, and then Dragon Shrines out the Dark Worm and searches for the Infinity. That is good. I mean, that is the optimal use of a Dark Worm in one turn, right?
Exactly.
Using both effects to get pluses, and people thought Monkey Board was broken. I mean, it was, right? But
And
Dark Worm enables FTK, so Dark Worm is probably a bit more broken.
that's the question. I mean, in the popular builds, which don't play the FTK, for example, is Abyss Curtain Raiser, Rescue Hamster, deck that Andre from Team Gym, which I forgot to mention before,
Oh, right.
played. He's not even playing the Dark Room engine, actually.
Yeah, I saw that. I was really surprised by that when I was casting Luzern, because this engine is so good. It is really hard to go into Vortex without the Supreme King engine, because Gate 0 is rank 7, level 7.
He explained it basically just that you have to play so many weird cards, like
Yeah,
from the second Dark Worm on, Foolish and Dragon Shrine and Gate 0. It's kind of difficult, or basically you have like just these weird hands with a lot of cards that you actually don't want to draw and aren't that good, especially are not good if you draw them with Electromite after Pendulum Summoning.
yeah, that is right.
So
You basically have to debate whether this insane value of summoning Darkroom from the graveyard with Foolish or Shrine is worth the risk of drawing into a Shrine after you already have monsters on board due to Electromite, or maybe you just want to activate the Desires and you have Chronograph, so you resolve Chronograph first, so you don't banish the little Gazer one, and then you draw into Shrine or Foolish. That
Exactly.
happened to me a lot.
okay, so he's going to search for Instant Fusion,
Yeah, this is going to be an FTK, and Maxi is not really happy about this.
making the Zephyrtron.
Yeah, that is. Oh, he just did that with 2 cards. That is so big. Getting. I mean, look at the amount of cards in Raphael's hand. This is this is just insane. Goes for the Metaltron, and now he's just going to Pendulum Summon out everything.
And as you mentioned before, like in a speed which
Yeah.
is incredible. Like
He sees his cards, sees his way of winning, and he doesn't think about it twice. I mean, he just
Exactly.
knows. He doesn't think, he knows.
the funny thing is, actually, I think he could have played it completely safe by also going into the Vortex, because he had like already the Nightingale in graveyard, going into Absolute Dragon, linking it away with Zephyrtron, going for Vortex. Was probably wasn't necessary at this point because there was no interruption at all on Maxi's side.
But does he play anything that he could summon? Oh yeah, Underclock, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, well, he didn't need to. So game 1 is
Already
for
over.
the champion Raphael. The FTK, so healthy for this game. As I mentioned earlier, morally questionable, a questionable choice of deck, but definitely a strong one for this tournament, especially.
I mean, in the end, it's not I think it's not the player's fault to play the deck if it's
No.
really that good.
Yeah, that is true. I mean, it's just clever, right?
I mean, there's another source where they could change something on it. Let's go through the side decks, I think.
Yeah, true. I mean, Maxi has the opportunity to go first, and he is running evenly matched Cosmic Cyclone. Is not gonna come in, I think. Maybe Cyclone. Masterpiece, not gonna happen. Zaphion, not gonna. This is heavily on the mirror match. Holy.
Yeah.
Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries, Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, and Ash Blossom. So 2 Ogres, 2 Blossoms, 8 cards, 8 hand traps, which are probably going to see play in game 3.
Could you imagine that he maybe deciding to go second to catching
Oh.
Raphael off guard?
Yeah, that is interesting. I think that's gonna happen because his sideboard is so strong going second and so weak going first. I mean, he could just go for Cyclones, and still is what is he? 3 Evenleys, 3 Twin Twisters, Ghost Ogre, Blossom, and Droll and Lockbird. 15 cards in Raphael's side deck. I mean, he's not going to side every card, but they all destroy True Draco when they try to go first. So I think the best choice for Maxi is just to let Raphael start, break out, then break the board which might just not be there, and win from that point on.
I'm actually curious because, like, as you said, like all cards are quite good to board against through Draco. But
Yeah.
I can't see him siding 15
No,
cards.
that won't happen. I mean, you can stop the first turn, but that's
If you're taking out the instant fusions, some parts of the FTK, you don't even get to 15 cards you want to side out. At some point, you have to take out mythical beasts or basic pendulum cards, which hurts your consistency. So.
Yeah, which you basically need. I mean, you can't board on that many cards that, and it will hurt you in either way. I mean, even if you brick or you don't have enough resources to build up a good board or something.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know who decided to go first. What's interesting is if Maxi goes second and he lets Raphael start and he wins, then we will have again this sideboarding mind game in game 3. So, Raphael's turn to start. I mean, it's really safe for him to go second actually, because his sideboard is so good. So good. I mean, just Twin Twisters and evenly matched. If you manage to draw into those cards, you beat Draco.
That's it, yeah. Especially with all draw power, as discussed before, with Allure, Pot of Desires, chances aren't too low.
Yeah, and this is what I mentioned before round 1, by the way. Draco got more and more into favor, but only because many people started to not side against it that hard anymore. Evenly matched is a card that Demise forces you to play out all of your cards, otherwise you have to discard them, except for Rocky Boy. But if you put everything on board and you don't have the Solemn Judgment that this deck needs, and that Maxi is not even main decking or side decking, so he's not even playing one, then Evenly Matched will take everything you have. And if that is the case, Pendulum just builds up a board, put a Dweller next to it, and win from that point on.
Well, the question is, if Draco player is going first, I talked with a lot of the Swiss Draco players, which had also played more or less besides Andre, all at the CSL in Lucerne, and they told me that if you have Demise turn 1 when you're starting, you don't want to activate it actually.
Mm-hmm.
Just on one side, you need like this completely broken hand to get the full value of it.
Yeah, true.
That you still have a huge field, like with 2 monsters and 5 back rows. And on the other side, especially because of Evenly, you have like this comeback option. I mean, if you have like an Undispel Fragrance and a Maiden in front of it, you're just safe. Like,
but at this point, you lose to Twin Twisters, because Twin Twister doesn't hit as much or as many cards as Evenly does.
Okay, that's
But if
true.
you don't have a lot and they just go, I mean, you can have all the Maiden anti-spells and diagrams maybe to get full value of the Twin Twister in this situation as you want. If your opponent's open with Dark Worm and Twin Twister discards the Dark Worm, then
you're really
are
in
going
trouble,
to
yeah, that's true.
get OTK'd. Because, I mean, the Maiden stays there, but it will just get bounced by Vortex maybe, or run over by the Rebellion Dragon, which many players decided to pick up again.
Okay, interesting choice. Not sure if Raphael decided to do that.
I don't think so, but it's really just good against Diagram, you know? You shrink the opponent's monster to 0, get your Rebellion Dragon to 20,000 attack again, and just hit the
Dealing the
Draco
damage
monster.
and attack him a second time. Yeah, it's actually pretty cool.
It's a good card against Draco. So
Okay.
there's a Lockbird as Maxi decided to start this game. I really question that decision.
And he has his winter cherries in hand, so
Yeah, but
that's like counterproductive.
and a Cyclone. Yeah, that is
It's interesting.
interesting choice. Yes. He has Diagram, Terraforming, Masterpiece, Cyclone, and Cherries, so he's just likely to set the Cyclone and pass.
Looks like that. And if we see Raphael's hand, he has the Shrine, 2 Pendulum cards, and an Ogre.
Ogre, yeah. Raph is waiting. Raph is waiting. He's hungry for this turn to happen.
So he could be over quite quickly at this point.
Yeah. I mean, he might just OTK, but he has the Ghost Ogre, so
I
that
think
is
through the cherry will be
hard.
difficult.
Yeah, but it's possible. I mean, so he's adding through Cherry and Cyclone, even though Cyclone takes away 1,000 life points. So, okay, so there's the Allure.
which he draw for turn, I guess.
Yeah. I think so too. So he banished the. Yeah, he's trying to kill him. I think. The Lockbird hurt a lot, really.
Yeah, that's clear. Yeah. So
But
it could be actually interesting.
Yeah.
I want to ask Raffle afterwards if he really decided to side 15 cards, because we see the Ogre in hand, we
Indeed.
see the drawn Lockbird. Twin Twister is a common choice.
Yeah.
So
So he might just board the cards that are also fine going first. Because if you, I mean, hand traps are not known for being great going first.
yeah,
But if you have drawn Lockbird in hand and your opponent tries to play 3 aboard and opens with like a duality and adds a terraforming or a diagram, it's your turn is over. There's nothing you can do. I mean, True Draco is great in breaking boards, sure, but after breaking those boards, they need to use their heritage because they wasted their cards on popping your
Exactly, yeah.
cards. And if they can't use the heritage, they aren't going to be drawing into more monsters to pressure damage. And also, the most important point is they don't have the card on board for next turn, so they can't really abuse the heritage next turn.
so you could see Raffle decide to not side the email matches, but drawn Lockbird, Ogre, Twin Twister, cards that have like also an impact going for basically that are okay if you're going first. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, evenly matched, not the best card going first. It's debatable, right? If you let your if your Draco opponent lets you start and you have evenly in hand, you might just pass, right? Draco is not very likely to OTK you, so you just wait until they do stuff and then you evenly then again. And I mean, life points is the least important resource in Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now.
I think yeah, in most matchups, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, not against Chamber.
or
Ch-
Tricksters.
Okay, Chainburn or Tricksters. I see. But
Oh,
still,
he had a rivalry.
yeah, I did not see that card. But I mean, he has rivalry on spellcasters, so
I'm not sure
that hurts.
if it was correct to use a rivalry or to wait until he's summoning a spellcaster.
Yeah,
He could have like used it immediately on the Dark Worm.
yeah, because Purple Poison also wrecks the rivalry again if he decides to kill it. But now Maxi is actually in a decent spot. He has Diagram, and Masterpiece. Depending on what he draws next, this could be really good for him. I mean, one Ogre is going to come down on the Diagram. I'm pretty sure.
Pretty sure, yeah.
But he has two. And having two is good.
Getting back into the game with floodgates.
Yeah, that's, again, such a nice Yu-Gi-Oh! Thing. Card of Demise. Did he just...
For
I mean, he probably used the
is
Terraform.
it possible that terraforming was a card of demise?
Yeah, I think that is possible.
Would make sense because he drew 2 cards. So
Yeah, sorry for that, guys. So he draws into duality. And yeah, now he's definitely back in the game. I mean, the cards in Rafi's hand are 2 gate zeros. Gate 0. Not the strongest of pendulum cards. I mean, it's good. You can use it for exceed summons, but
I'm actually not sure. I think there's only 1 gate 0 because he banished 1 with Allure, and he's not playing free. So
yeah,
could be. It's also not in Infinity, because yeah, he has to side out something to
yeah, true.
put in all these side cards. So.
That's true. Is there an astrograph in his hand? So Diagram gets killed by Ogre. He's not that likely again to have another Diagram because we don't really know. But he has a set card. I think he took the Apocalypse, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he set another card. Maybe, I mean, I really wouldn't... Oh, he discards Masterpiece.
Well, the problem is if he's summoning Masterpiece,
Yeah.
Power Poison is just destroying it because it's
right.
trap unaffected. So
not that much back into the game right now. So Purple Poison swings.
could be a long game.
Yeah, I think Maxi has time to draw into outs. Again, the Mythical Beast engine also are spellcasters
Exactly.
with a significantly high amount of attack, so they could speed up the game a little if Rafi draws into one of them. I mean, he drew Shakal, but he decides to keep the Purple Poison on board, just in case that his opponent plays his threat
Yeah.
and kills the Purple Poison, so he can get rid of the
More back row.
rivalry. So he drew another card. shows it to our guy who writes down the card names for us.
So we have a chronograph now in hand of Ruff.
I think it was a Black Fang. Black Fang. See,
Okay.
I'm right, you're wrong.
And
Superior Card Seer, right here.
so he can go for Black Fang and the Gate 0.
Yeah.
As Gales, Pendulum summoning out the Jackal.
Oh, yeah, right. Pendulum summoning out Jackal. I was just so into normal summoning Magician cards that I thought the play was normal summon Black Fang and swing. But yeah, that is definitely the better choice because you build up more resources. Indeed. So Maxi is at 4,600 attack. He has to speed up his game, man. And he looks very unhappy.
I mean, he's still like one card of demise away from, or Pot of Desires into demise or something like that, away from getting back into this game.
There's a Cyclone, which takes out the Black Fang. So he goes down to 3,600. I mean, it's better for him because the Jackal can't be pendulum summoned now.
Exactly.
But it's still, these life points are important now. I mentioned that they're the least important resource. But right now, it starts to become really important.
And I think actually the face down card of Maxi is a Draco Trap card.
Yeah.
Because otherwise he wouldn't have flipped up the Apocalypse
Yeah,
just like that.
that's
so
correct, I think. So, Rafael, does he still have the Drone Lockbird in hand?
maybe he drew another one, that's possible.
Or he started off
So
with-
he's actually in a quite, like, it's in okayish position right now, but it's not that much that is missing that
Duality?
Maxi is taking this game.
Yeah, Duality.
Okay.
I mean, in this situation, Lockbird is crazy, but Maiden is really good. Maiden is a really good draw. Ish, not really,
Okay.
because he will probably chain Lockbird after that.
I think what Raphael did right now was a mind game by going through the graveyard in order that Maxi is going to take the disciplines instead of the maiden. So his strong Lockbird would like probably already seal the game.
Oh, that is clever.
I was like, okay, that
This bad boy.
you wouldn't do that just like out of nowhere. So he was trying to trick him in there.
See, those are the small things in Yu-Gi-Oh that I really admire. This is micro gaming or macro gaming. I'm not that much into business stuff. I mean, my flatmate studies it, but he recently just got a bachelor degree, by the way. Just want to mention that. If
Pretty
he's
cool.
watching. Congratulations, man.
From myself as well.
So,
What is the face down card actually?
yeah, I don't know.
So
It's probably not a Mirror Force. So he summons Maiden. But did he Lockbird him? No, he didn't.
Okay, so let's
that
get
is.
purple.
I don't think there is a Lockbird. It's Astrograph. And that also changes stuff because, I mean, he can chain Maiden, obviously. Search Masterpiece or Ignis or another Maiden. If he gets.
But I'm actually not happy now with the decision of Ruff to not using Drone Lockbird.
I don't think he has a Lockbird. I think
Okay,
that was a mistake. It was Astrograph rather than
Okay.
Lockbird.
I see.
Um,
Yeah, he has Loud Jackal and Purple Poison hand, that's true. However, okay, so now the main should be destroyed.
yeah, I mean, what did he add? I couldn't really see it right now, but how does it matter? I mean, he does not have an additional tribute summon. He has
Well,
rivalry in a monster, and he's on less life points than Astrograph has attack points.
I think it depends if the face down card is a Draco Trap card. In this case,
must be.
he's actually in a pretty good, not like a great spot, but a pretty decent spot. Okay, so there's Desires.
Yeah, but again, he has purple poison in hand, so that outs Masterpiece immediately.
Well, it depends how Raphael wants to go for game at this point, I guess. If he just tries to swing with Astrograph,
I really don't think he's going to do that.
Maxi's going like to summon the Masterpiece.
I mean, the thing is that if he just summons the purple poison next to Astrograph and tries to swing with Astrograph, Maxi chains a trap card, summons Masterpiece over it, and destroys the Astrograph, he's just going to attack with Purple Poison and leave Maxi at nothing. I mean, there will be no card. Card of Demise from the top, maybe. But that would be
favorite one.
nasty. That would be rad.
Like first duality into Card of Demise. A little bit more. At least you could say, yeah, he searched the card, so it's alright.
Yeah.
But
I mean, Maxi is just sad at this point. He could have drawn to a monster a lot earlier, not get chopped down that hard. So yeah, I think if he didn't draw a high scale to go into Jackal, he attacks with Purple Poison first. That is weird, because now he just lets the attack go through and not get a replay.
I think they're going back to the main phase.
Oh, right. He can't summon it in the battle phase.
Exactly, yeah.
Sometimes I tend to forget things. So yeah.
I think he needs to use the Masterpiece on the scale. Would be correct.
Yeah, I think so too. He has to. That's just
because
nothing else.
If Raphael had like any card in hand, which he could special summon like Astrograph or Chronograph with another monster to go for game, it wouldn't matter. So yeah.
Right.
Okay, so we're here at the point where it all comes down to Demise or not Demise.
Yeah. I mean, there are some cards like Duality that can fetch a Demise.
But I think we're agreeing on, with one card you can't do much.
Yeah.
Maybe Desires.
I mean, even with Demise or Desires, he did not win the game instantly. So that is a top deck. What do you think? I think it was a spell card. Was it Demise? Was it Demise? Come on, show it. Set a card. Okay, he set a card. Not over yet, but you have to remember the rivalry is not active anymore.
So anti-spell?
Yeah, anti-spell would be
it's
stalling for a turn.
Because otherwise he would have flipped it up, so
correct.
It needs to be returned like to survive this turn.
Indeed.
Or Raphael is really missing high scales.
Yeah.
That's the Jackal one.
Jackal.
And Chronograph has high scales, so yeah.
Yeah, he can summon Astrograph Sorcerer.
That would be enough.
Yeah, that would be enough indeed.
If the back row isn't a potential card.
Attack. And it's the Heritage. Okay, so YCS champion Raphael Naven, CCG member, takes this win over Maxi Gardner. Gardner got really unfortunate with his draws.
Yeah, definitely.
So there was not much he could do. I mean, the decision of going first with cherries and stuff is questionable, yes. But still, there was nothing he could have done there.
Exactly, yeah. And also, like, the first game, there was probably absolute perfect hand for Raphael. He could have played through one hand trap without with ease. So it's a tough matchup for Draco in general, like against the FTK deck if you're losing the dice roll.
Yeah, this is exactly why so many players decided to play it. It looked in the last tournaments, talking to all the players before the tournament starts. Players that played Draco were really confident. They were like, yes, I'm playing Dracos. This is the dominant deck right now. The Pendulum players were a bit like, yeah, I'm still playing Pendulums. I talked to many of them and they said like, I don't really want to buy Diagrams right now because, I mean, it's expensive. It might just get hit by a banlist.
Yeah.
And now the tides have turned. I've seen many Draco players here, especially as we didn't have the round 1 on stream. I talked to some of them who lost the first round also. They're like, yeah, man, I just got FTK'd. Or, there are so many FTKs. How am I supposed to top this event?